It's finally here. It's Tuesday, 8 p.m. It's time for CCUK Resin Q&A Live, sponsored by apexresin.co.uk. Don't forget, use my discount code CCUK, save some money. That's right. Tonight and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. we're going live on the only resin talk show where you meet your favorite artists and creators behind the gloves. CCUK Resin Q&A Live. We'll be talking with fellow resin artists and creators and answering all of your questions live. Make sure you stick around. Ask all your questions in caps lock. Get involved, share this video with your friends and family, and enjoy the show. And with that, I'd also like to take a moment to say a massive thank you to everyone that supported this channel, guests, sponsors, members, and subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. We all grow together. The more questions you ask, the better the live will be. So be creative and ask away. Make sure at the end of the video you give it a thumbs up and comment. That's how we all keep growing. But for now, sit back, grab a drink, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, hello. It's Tuesday and it's 8 p.m, not a.m. So firstly, apologies if I gave anyone a scare this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I did set the settings wrong. I clicked a.m. instead of p.m. So I hope you're here now and I hope it hasn't disturbed you too much. But again, it's Tuesday. We've got another CCUK Resin Live, and I'm so excited for this one. We've got an amazing guest, and I can't believe it's been a year since he's been on. He's a great supporter in this community. He's in lots of these lives anyway, and you all probably know him. He's not only a great artist, but he's also a great singer. So we've got Tim, Bass Resonator, coming on. Hi, Tim. How are you doing? Oh, there we go, and he's live.
I'm doing pretty good. Just released a couple monarch butterflies. I've been raising them lately. They fly south, and I have milkweed in my garden. That's one of my plants, and that's what they eat on. And it started getting cold, so I just started harvesting the caterpillars and bringing them indoors.
Right.
And because they were I had a couple caterpillars out there that were dead because it got cold, and I'm like, oh no, that's not going to happen. So I released number 19 that gone through the caterpillar all the way to chrysalis to butterfly, and so I just released them today. So,
do you know what would be cool? And I'm not saying to do this, but if they could get a tiny little tracker and track where it flew everywhere.
They have them. They have them. Yeah, there's about 10 miles from us. There's the National Butterfly Center. I'm like, because this is like major flyway for all kinds of species of birds and butterflies and stuff. And these monarchs and the relatives, the viceroy and the queen, make this trek down into Mexico. Some go all the way as far north as Canada. Some stop parts of the way. And they out there at the center, they have I'm not going to spend $5 a butterfly. You know, that's just a little too much, man. You know, so especially releasing 19.
Have you ever found them because obviously sometimes naturally they do pass away because they don't live that long. Have you ever found any and then preserved them in resin?
Not monarchs, because usually monarchs end up on car grills and they're already torn up. But I have a giant swallowtail that I did. They're yellow and they have little thingies down on the bottom, which are kind of pretty. I did preserve one of those. I have preserved a dragonfly that I felt really sorry for. I heard it get hit. I was walking my dog by the road, and these cars, they fly, the speed limit is 45, but they're going 55. And just zooming, and I heard, and I thought, what was that? And then right in front of me, and then, of course, Titan, my dog, was like, and I'm like, get away. So I picked it up hoping that it would be okay, but its head was all sideways. So I ended up bringing it home and keeping it, because when a lot of insects, they die, their wings will curl up, and I didn't want them that way. I wanted it out, so I brought it home and put some Kleenex and taped it down in place so that I didn't want to damage the wing. So I used Kleenex, and then I glued his head back on because it was not too good a shape. But yeah. So I put.
And is it still okay? Is it still preserved? Because I'm curious if
they've been 2 years. Yeah. 2 years. Yeah.
So
bubbles. That was before I had my vacuum chamber. Like, but anyway.
So for those that don't know where to find you, do you want to start off by? I suppose you were here a year ago, which was amazing. But for those that don't know you yet, do you want to shout out your channel and tell people sort of where it all started from?
Bass Resonator. Bass, BASS, as in the instrument or vocal instrument, which is what I am. And Resonator because of resin. I wanted Resonator because I resonate in the bass realm. But if you look up Bass Resonator, you'll find a guy that plays bass guitar. And I thought, no.
Okay.
Stay away from that. So I went with Bass Resonator. Where did I start? I started a long time ago with my dad before they had molds. There was this company. I don't know if they still exist or not. Edmund Scientific Company. You could buy all kinds of scientific experiments and stuff. And this is back in the day, in the late 60s, when you could buy chemistry sets that had like mercury and stuff like that in them, which are like no-nos nowadays. We had so many experiments, but he got some resin through there, and so he would get a carton or a container for cottage cheese and do his stuff, and then he'd pull it out. Well, then he had to shape it, with a grinder and stuff, and then polish and polish. He would polish for days. He would have loved what I have access to, like this stack of molds right here. But
it's amazing how it's
started, sort of, and then I got away from it because he let me make a couple pieces with him. But he had me. We'd driving around in Mexico, and he'd stomp on the brakes. Get out and go catch it. Well, there's a tarantula going across the road, and so I'd go out there with another empty cottage cheese thing, throw it over the top, and then put a piece of paper underneath, put it like that, and put a lid on it, and then put a couple holes in the top, and we'd take it home, and he put it to sleep in a nice way. I mean, it would, and then he would hold its legs in place with little pins and stuff. My sister has that one. It's a doorstop at her place because it's a pretty good sized chunk.
But no, you were just saying then how things developed in sort of those science kits. But it's amazing how resin, just over the last year, how it's developed. I mean, even at the start of last year, I think when I first started playing with resin, there's probably 2 or 3 types. You get your standard UV resin, you'd get a standard casting resin, and then you get a deep pour resin. But now there's like 20 different types, all at different speeds, different effects. It shows how popular it's getting.
You can go from 1.5 inches to 6 inches with some now. Like, what?
Crazy. So, but do you know what? It's great because for me, it just shows that it's getting more popular. And that's why companies are developing more products, which is what we all want, because then we've got more to play with.
Yeah. And back in the old days, when you'd get resin, it would turn yellow. This is when I made, that was, I don't know if any of you are this old. In 1968, the Olympics were in Mexico City. That's one of their, let me see if I can get it up there. That's one of the coins from, and my dad got it, and he gave me permission to put it in here. He had 3 of them. It's not gold. It was a silver coin, but it looks gold because the resin went weird. But this is one of those that he had to grind off to get it that shape. I mean, we didn't have molds.
Yeah.
But
so I mean, I've done a bit of research before tonight, as you can imagine. I listened back to sort of the live from last year. And it was amazing because I was talking about butterflies a little bit in that live and how you were growing your native Texan flowers, I think it was. Was it the blue bonnet or something like that?
Blue bonnet, yep.
Yeah.
In fact, I even have a blue bonnet frog. It's got blue bonnets in it.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Those are ones that I dried. I grew them out here and was able to.
And are you still using the silica the silica sand?
Silica sand, the silica gel sand, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know you was umming and ahhing about trying to get a cheap dehumidifier or something for flowers on the last live.
There are none. I mean,
No.
you can find them, but they lose their color. The crystals are the best way to go. And I found that there are some that have chunky crystals.
Yeah.
Stay away from those. You'll damage flower petals. So, I mean, if you've got oh man, I've got some acorns. There is an oak tree down here called a bur oak. The acorn will fill my hand. It is a huge acorn. So I've picked up a bunch. I'm trying to figure out it won't fit in a frog. Well, maybe that gigantic frog, but I'm trying to figure out if I should take it out to my brother's house and use his table saw and slice them in half. And I don't know. But anyway, I've got about 7 or 8 of them.
I bet you it's very nice wood.
I don't know.
I've
never got into it.
Sorry, I've got wood on the brain at the minute because I've got a couple of projects on the go at the minute. So I've got the coffee table, which I'm trying to do. But the weather's horrible in the UK at the minute. It's just rain, so I can't. And then last night I got some huge cookies, and I mean like 20 inches in diameter delivered. And I'm probably going to make some more side tables out of those and mix them with different resin effects. So it's it's and I know you did your table as well. How's it holding up?
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's people come over and I say, look at this. I'm gonna make another one. I bought there's a type of tree that grows around here. It's super hard wood and it grows in a whorl. It does not have straight. So if you're trying to split it, man, you'll kill your back. But and you'll also kill your saw. It's super hard. It's called mesquite. And then there's another type of wood around here. It's called Texas ebony, which is much harder than the mesquite. But anyway, I got a cookie of mesquite burl. It's a 12-inch cookie. Yeah, Laura saw that acorn. I was like, look at this.
That'd be amazing just to have in a resin block, though, if it was that big.
Yeah, it would be. Well, I've got those. It's like it's a cylinder with a dome on it. Yeah. I could put it in that maybe.
Or do you know what? If you haven't got one of those molds, just use a 2-liter Coke bottle.
Yeah. Well, I did do a Coke bottle. I don't know if you saw that for New Year's celebration. It was like, it fell out of my hand. And so I filled part of the thing with Coke colored resin. And then, and it's on a, we had leftover tiles when they did our house. So I kept one of them. It looks kind of cool. It's a talking point.
Everyone's saying the Coke bottle was really cool. I missed that one. I don't know why I missed that one. It was probably because I was going through my crazy 25 videos in December at that point, if it was around then.
Well, I do them every day. You can do them.
I would love to, honestly, but I don't. I think because
I'm retired too, so
I think that would help. I mean, I leave the house at about 6:30 in the morning, and I get back at 6:30 at night. So it's just fitting it all in. I think three videos is typically my norm. If I can fit 3 in a week, I'm happy. But then it's the editing on top. That's the thing is, if you do a 20-minute video, it's probably 2 hours of editing, I find.
Well, I've got mine down to a pretty good science. Oh man, I just look at my hand. The back of my hand looks terrible. You get to a certain age, and when you're my color with blondish, reddish hair, sun is not your friend, especially when you got sunburned at an early age. Well, I've got all these little things that they said are pre-cancerous, but they're not cancer. So they froze them. They cryoed me. And then they said, well, use this cream, but don't touch it with your skin. And I'm like, well, what? How am I supposed to put it on? And they said, oh, no, put it on those spots using a glove or something. I said, okay, I can do that. Well, it caused it to break out. I'm like, what is that? And they said, stop using it. And I'm like, okay, not a problem. But, man, it's actually better than it was. It looked terrible the other day. So
wow. Just shows doctors are never always right.
Well, it may work on somebody, but you
Yeah.
know, somebody with sensitive skin, I guess no.
So, I mean, we're getting a few questions coming through. Just to remind those in chat, if you want to ask any questions, put them in caps lock. Lisa then sends them to me. Thank you, Lisa. And then we do them in order. So any questions, we've not forgotten them. But if you can put them in caps lock in chat, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, that way we'll pick them up and we will read them out and go through them all. So just so that everybody's clear on that. But no, I've seen that you've virtually doubled in the last year in subscribers.
Yeah, it goes up about 10 a week. You know, it's not that way, but it's just a slow, steady curve.
I think one of the best things though about that is again looking at your channel, your videos, you're consistent with it, which is obviously why you get the growth. But you haven't had one that's gone viral, I wouldn't say. So it's that consistency that's building a regular community, I think, around you and what you do.
What I did have viral, it was the stupidest thing. Down the street, maybe 15 houses down, they have this oriental orchid tree, which is about 35 feet tall. And they have beautiful flowers and they smell just amazing. Well, and they're bright pink. And my wife and I were coming back from church and I said, look at that. So she opens a window and I'm taking a video and I put it on TikTok thinking, oh, whatever, I don't do TikTok much. I don't understand it. I mean, I understand what's going on. I'm not used to it. Let's put it that way. I don't hang out there. But I took this video and it looks like you're going to a wedding and the flower girl had just come through and thrown all the petals. Yeah. It was beautiful. And there's 38,000 people have seen it. I'm like, what?
Wow.
It's like 35 seconds long.
I hope you put a comment in there. Follow me on YouTube. Here's the link.
Well, I should have, but and then I did a release of butterflies 2 weeks ago, and there's over 1,000 have seen that. So,
wow, just shows that you never know. I think last time you was on, you was mentioning one of your most viral videos at that point was you rolling around on the grass because you've got two different.
I just mowed it, and we have a type of grass that grows in South Texas, and I think it does in Florida, and it does not grow well in Arizona. But it's called a carpet grass, which they send runners out. They don't just shoot seeds down and grow roots. They put these runners, and these runners will put down roots everywhere along the way. Man, they'll trip you up, something fierce. And so I had just mowed it, but they stay lower than the mower. And so then I walked back through there and was pulling some of those runners up, and I said, "Look at this! You'd think I didn't mow this. I did." Like 7,000 people saw it. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because there's a novelty of the type of grass. They don't have that.
Well, you never know. You never know. And again, one of my most viral videos, I suppose, has got like over 20,000 now. And it's one of my worst videos. Halfway through, I get up and I walk in my living room and just start humming. Just randomly humming for about 2 minutes. And then I come back and it's just like, why has it picked that video?
They're telling you to get back into music, Andy.
Yeah, well, maybe. I think I need to stop the smoking before I get back into singing. But we have had a request, actually, I've seen in the questions, is are we going to hear Tim singing tonight?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. That's about all I'm going to do with that one. Actually, what's all that's in my head right now is we just had rehearsal last night with the Valley Symphony Chorale. I live in a part of Texas they call the Rio Grande Valley. It's the very bottom of Texas, and the Rio Grande goes through here. And so the symphony chorale is called the Valley Symphony Orchestra, and then the chorale is part of it. And we're doing a John Rutter, who is a Brit. In fact, I think he's been knighted.
Oh wow, Sir John.
Yeah, and he's older, but he writes. Some of his vocal stuff is like, but this one's actually pretty good. But we're doing a bunch of spirituals, African American spirituals, and so that's the stuff that running through my head right now. So,
well, you're gonna have to sing with it. That's the only thing. Laura keeps saying that you're gonna sing.
Part. I mean, it's deep river. It's like, what is that? If you want to hear me sing, I'll tell you, go to my SoundCloud. My SoundCloud, just look up EP Albinos, which stands for Eagle Pass, is where I'm from, and one of my nicknames was albino because I'm white and I speak Spanish like everybody. So it's just look up EP Albino, and I got a plethora of music on there. So,
and you trust me, guys, you don't want to hear me sing. It's not pretty. I always sound brilliant in the shower, but I do think you get a different acoustic in the shower. And I think it echoes your voice better. It's amazing.
That's why when I was still actively teaching, and we'd have solo and ensemble contests. If there was an ensemble that I had together, and it was one gender, like all guys, okay, go to the bathroom and practice. And they're like, "What?" And I said, "Go to the bathroom."
Okay, Luna's saying if you send her a link on Discord, then she'll share it around as well. So then people can listen.
I got you on. I maximize the screen. Let me go over here real quick. Actually, let me open a different browser.
Oh, don't cut yourself off. I've done that before.
So I can set it over here to the side.
But now, interestingly, actually, I'm starting to get back into my music because I'm in front of a screen so much. So I'm in front of a screen all day at work. Then I come home and I'm in front of a screen editing videos. There's nothing I enjoy more at the minute than just switching off for half an hour and listening to music. Eyes closed and just let the music take you somewhere else. You know, it's a great way to relax.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit different to the dance music I have in the car on the way to work to wake me up in the morning.
Maybe so. Okay, so I'm getting my... Oh, it keeps coming up with these stupid ads. Get out the way.
I wish I was a musician. I'm not a musician. I did used to sing a little when I was younger. And interestingly, I used to be in a band when I lived abroad in Hungary. But the band was actually teaching Hungarian children how to speak English. So it was like songs like Jump, Jump, Kangaroo Brown, Jump, Jump off, and those kinds of things. It wasn't really a proper band.
Yeah.
Brown, Jump, Jump off, and those kinds of things. It wasn't really a proper band. Dear, I can hear that echoing. It's bad. It's terrible.
I'm trying to turn that volume off. There we go. I'm trying to put the thing in the...
And then my claim to fame was...
There's my SoundCloud thing.
Oh, brilliant. And then my claim to fame was probably Grease when I was in school. In the school play, I was Danny Zuko, and I loved that. But since then, I
got chills. They're multiplying. And
I said, I wonder why you left me. Yeah, I still remember the songs.
Good.
But yeah, do you know what? Sorry, I know you didn't need my singing in stereo. It's not pleasant. Whenever I do it in a video, people are like, don't do it.
That's my poor wife. She's a piano player. And my oldest son, our oldest son, she told me to say our, it's not just yours. Our oldest son is an amazing musician. He's a good singer, but he can play almost any instrument on the planet. He was a choir director for 15 years, and then he decided he needed to stay home because the life of a choir director keeps you away from the house, and he's got 2 little kids, and he's like, no. So he's changed professions. But when he was a little kid, Ruth would come in, she'd start singing, he goes, Mama, no. So.
But do you know my little one, bless her, so Sophie, she is 7 at the moment, and she doesn't know the words to songs, but she still sings. It's bizarre. It's like I'll be driving around with her and something will come on the radio and she'll just go, yeah. And it still sounds really cute, even though she doesn't know the words.
Yeah. Well, I'm really good for the first line of a song or maybe part of the chorus. But, when I grew up, they didn't have lyrics, on the internet. There was no internet the way we have it.
Yeah.
If you didn't buy the album, you didn't have the lyrics. I mean, that was where you found them. And so, and in fact, there was a song. Oh, what was it? Neil Diamond, "Forever in Blue Jeans."
Right.
I didn't think that's what I heard. I heard Reverend Blue Jeans. Nobody ever corrected me till I saw him making a frog, and I called him Reverend Blue Jeans, and I looked it up, and I'm like, it's not Reverend Blue Jeans. What?
I've done that so many times where you just, because I was like you when I was younger and I wanted to learn the words to a song, I'd just listen to it and I'd probably sing, and then that's how I would learn the words. And when I get into adulthood, I suppose, and singing around other people, they pick up on it and go, no, they're the wrong words, Andy. And I'm like, well, it sounds right.
There's a comedian over in England. What is his name? He does where he walks around with a recording device of songs, and he goes of misheard lyrics. Oh my goodness, it is so funny.
Yeah. But no, I think, do you know what? And even if you can't sing, singing, sometimes I think it's a bit like exercise, where it actually gets you in a better frame of mind. So if you're feeling a bit down,
it releases endorphins.
Yeah, and obviously it depends on the kind of song. Don't listen to sad music if you're feeling a bit down, because that might make it feel worse.
Peter Kay, that's the dude.
Yeah, Peter Kay, love him. I think he did Amarillo as well once. Is this the way to Amarillo? That one. Oh. But yeah, he's great.
When you said Amarillo, the first thing that came to my mind was Amarillo by Morning.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Well, that's a country and western song. You don't know that one?
No, I might have to look it up.
Yeah, it's an old country song.
Apparently
my exes live in Texas. Okay, Kernix.
Yeah, I think she's referring to my singing there, Tim, not yours.
Well, no, if you participate in it, not so much listening to it, but if you participate, even if you've got a voice that needs a bucket to hold it in, it's fine. So
yeah.
It makes you feel good. That's one of the reasons why people would join choir to begin with. First off, their friends were in there, but then also they realize this is cool, so.
Yeah. And do you know what? It's just, if you've got nothing to do, even if you're pottering around your house tidying up, hum along or sing along, it gets you in a good mood, I think. And things get done quicker, I've noticed as well. If I'm singing, and let's say I'm cleaning the kitchen or the living room, it'll be done twice as quick.
Yeah. Clean up, everybody, everywhere.
And if you think my singing's bad, you should see my dancing.
Oh, well, don't look at mine. Don't look at mine. I
am a dad dancer. It's not changed since I was 16, and I'm a little bit older than that now, but I still do exactly the same dance moves when I'm out and about.
I didn't do dancing. My wife didn't either. We have tried different things. We went to a square dance. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Is
that like the line dancing sort of thing?
Well, it's not exactly. You have somebody telling you what to do.
Okay.
Swing your partner to and fro, stuff like that. And you have to do it all. And we did that, and it was fun, but, we looked really dorky. Other people were doing. When people tried to dance, when I played American football, and I was really mean. And that you almost have to play with that type of a mentality to want to hurt people, which is not the most Christian thing to do, and so that's one of the reasons I ended up switching out of that. But it took me to 2 years of college before I finally switched out. But people would try and dance around me, and I just nail them, and
get out of the way.
Most of the time I would hurt them. No, I mean, they were trying to dance to get away from me, and I'm
So let's go back to resin for a second.
Okay.
In the last 12 months then, so for people that haven't been watching your channel, what's been your favorite make in the last year?
I knew you were going to ask something like that.
You've watched the show too many times.
Yeah.
You know what's coming after this.
I've got a frog, but it would take me quite a while to get it.
Okay, no, that's fine. Which one was it?
The giant frog, the Julie Cutts frog.
And
its back is an abalone shell.
Okay.
So
I remember that one
abalone shell
actually.
that was polished on both sides. That one probably is.
You got one that actually fit it almost perfectly, didn't you? I think.
Yeah. I did that with a turtle too. And we talked about that one last year. And that man, of all of the pieces I've made, that was probably my favorite of that.
Well, interesting with abalone. I've got 4 shells that I got, and I only got them from Temu, but I do believe they're genuine abalone shells. I'm thinking about putting those in my river, in my table.
Oh, yeah. I have abalone pieces. I don't know if I redid my bathroom, and I did it with an ocean theme. And the cabinet underneath the sink has this little, well, let me get my hands up here. It's about 2.5 inches. It's this wide. You can't even see how wide.
It's this big.
It's about 3.5 feet wide, and it's got a 2-inch little thing. And I don't know what my kids were doing, but they scratched the middle wood part, and I thought I can sit there and polish. I mean, sand it down and try and do stuff because it's solid oak. I could redo that, or I'll resin it. And so I put resin down, and I put a bunch of little pieces of the abalone in there. Oh, it's really pretty. And people coming, they're still coming to my event. Oh, look at this! I didn't see you did this. And, yeah,
I've seen Laura actually from Laura's Art Corner, Laura Usher. I think she started doing the abalone shell sheets, and they look really interesting.
I've yet to use that. I would like to. I'm still thinking about trying some of that. I've seen it on a couple of things, and that would be one way to get that polished side on both sides into one of those shells. Whereas getting for that turtle, it had to be well, when I stretch out my hand that way, it's 9 inches. So 6.5 inches long, 3.5 to 4 inches wide, and about 1.5 inches deep in order to fit in there. I found one perfect, and it actually snapped in. I was like, okay, I guess you're not coming out. So, and I've got 2 more of those shells. I bought 3, so I haven't done. I still need to do another one. I really want to get into a market, but there's a waiting list, and you have to pay to get on the waiting list.
Yeah.
And well, I just for 3 days.
Do you remember a couple of lives? Oh, sorry, carry on.
Where they have the island where they have the turtle rescue. The Ridley's turtles come on shore and lay eggs, and then people go out there and wait for the hatching. They know when they're going to hatch, and then they're out there shooing off the gulls and other things to try and
while the babies go into the sea.
So.
But no, I was just going to say, I think we talked about that last time, actually, that you're on it's like a 2-year waiting list.
I know, it's nuts. And I know they would sell because everybody that sees the stuff, first off, when I do animals, unless I'm in just a really crazy mood, I try and do animals natural colors. Yeah. I mean, there are so many varieties of birds and amphibians and reptiles and myriad of colors that I can't even try and match, you know?
Yeah.
So I try and stay closer to original colors, unless I'm putting flowers or something in something like that frog. In fact, this Friday's frog have got some more flowers and a seed pod. A weird looking seed pod. It's called Alamo vine.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It looks like it's like a star. And then I got
almost like an orchid.
It does, but it's not. It's brittle, but that's why anyway. I like putting different. In fact, that's one of the things that got me into resin art after so many years was my kids got me a hydroponic garden kit, and I started growing flowers, and I have a flower press that I've had for forever. But you lose the 3D quality of some of the flowers. Some of the flowers have these beautiful petals and stuff going all over, like a carnation. You see a fluffy carnation. You put that in a press, it looks like like something dog wouldn't eat and the cat dragged in, you know, that one of those things. So but so I that's when I ventured into the sand, the silica gel sand, and then I'm like, oh yes, and then how am I supposed to preserve this? So I had to figure out a medium, and then I was like, resin, and so
resin will preserve anything: noodles, marshmallows, food, flowers, whatever you want to throw in.
I don't know where my marshmallow frog is, but I gave him red eyes so that he would. I was thinking of the original Ghostbusters and that Stay Puft Marshmallow. You thought
yeah, the Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, and so that's why I tried to give him the red eyes to make him look like that thing. Anyway.
That reminds me, actually, last time you were on, Lula requested an impression of Arnie, I think it was, and that was brilliant that you did.
Oh my goodness. Get to the chopper, yeah. and I mean, she wanted me to talk like Arnold through the whole thing, and I'm like, I'm just ad-libbing as I go. I don't dub over my stuff. I tried that once. I'm like, that takes way too long. Besides, I'm watching my video over and over, and I'm like, oh, it's not that good of a video. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just not into for me, if I can cut out as much editing time, that's how I can do them daily, and by not overdubbing. I have done it once where but it was just a little section where I was like, oh man, that sounded stupid. So I took the audio out and I redid 30 seconds or whatever, and I've got the technology. We can refix them.
Just get the I'll be back at the end of every one. It's fine.
Yeah, but I have this. It's a DAW, digital audio workstation software. Being a musician, I had a lot of this stuff when I was working, and I would make demos for my students, and stuff. So I was always singing and doing different things, but I equalizing the voice levels so that 30 seconds, I took another 4 minutes, and I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. I can take out hisses and pops and stuff, but still, I'm like, now sometimes I'm offended by, because I'm breathing and the camera. I don't know if you can see that. Right here is my camera mount. If you look where my thumb is, and it's right at my head level. When I'm standing there. Because I stand, I don't like sitting to do it. And so sometimes you'll hear me if I'm real quiet time and there's the AC isn't kicked on or anything, so it's not like this and hearing that in the background. So you hear me going, and I sound like, you don't know the power of the dark side, Luke. So.
I used to get that though at the start. That's one of the reasons. I think I got paranoid about my breathing in videos. Because at the start, everybody was like, we can hear you breathing. And I'm like, well, I've got to breathe. But now I think that's one of the reasons why I edit the voiceover every time. So I try and take that out because, again, I get it because I listened back to some of my earlier videos and I can hear that. And again, that's the thing. I don't really want to be able to hear me going.
Yeah. And it's not like I've breathing problems or anything. I don't, but
it's just normal.
The proximity of the mic. Now I do have a mic. It's got a little fuzzy air dismisser type of thing on it, but I have to charge it every 30 minutes or so, and I'm like, but it cuts out everything. You don't hear
anything.
So
no, you can wear those outdoors as well. It's meant to block the wind.
Yeah. If it would only block all the wind. No.
We did have a few questions, so let's start going through those.
Okay.
In fact, we've had quite a few coming through whilst we've been chatting, so I'm just going to look at the start. Here we go. So Wendy was asking, how long have you been using resin for?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
But I've only had my channel open for just under 2 years.
Well, you had it. I think you had the channel open
for a long time before that, but that was for choir and stuff like that. Yeah.
Julie Ann is asking, how far in advance do you do your videos?
I tried to at least 2 weeks of videos done, and already edited and everything, already queued, so that I just daily. But then my wife had hiatal hernia repair surgery, and Well, everything went out the window. So I'm only like 4 days ahead right now. I'm trying to catch back up to where I'm not feeling rushed. One of the things I do not like is being unprepared enough to where I just panic. And, and I don't want to do that with my music. And when I'm performing, like with these rehearsals, even though the music is not that difficult that we're doing, and it's not a long set, but I go to rehearsals even though I don't have to beat everyone, since I'm the bass, the principal bass. So I only have to show up for certain rehearsals, but I don't want to do that. I want to show up for all of them because I know what I get like when I panic. It's not a pretty picture. I'll start turning red, and I start second guessing myself, and I don't want to do that. I want to be totally prepared for it. So if I can stay at least 4 or 5 days ahead, that makes me feel a little bit calmer. But with my editing, I have certain things that I do at certain points. So I have text that I use, like thank you subscribers or whatever. I can change that up. But that, to me, for me to put that on my editing software, takes 15 seconds max. To change the words, another 5 seconds. It's not that hard to do. And certain things that I put different places, and the software I use, it's just, for me, it's very easy. For somebody else coming into it and learning, but I've had this software, well, earlier iterations of it, for 15 years, because I was doing videos of our choir and stuff. So no, it makes sense. And again, with me, I try and be a month ahead, but sometimes life and work gets in the way. And it's like at the minute, I'm only a week ahead and I'm stressing a little bit because that stress right there is what I don't like.
I'm starting to think, do I need to book a week off work to get back ahead so that my members have got a month's worth of videos in advance? Or can I just try and fit one extra video in a week and then build it back up to that? It's a lot. Okay, so next question. Valerie's asking, if you poured a fail, do you still post the video?
Yes. I sit there and laugh at myself, and I don't remember who it was. Oh, it was so funny. They pulled a frog out and the eyes had gone wonky on it, and they just sat there and she and her husband just were laughing.
Yeah.
Was it the something rat? What does she call herself? The crafty rat?
Oh, the crafty rat. Janet and Chris.
She and her husband were just sitting there, or somebody else. I don't remember who, but they just sat there and laughed for like a minute straight. It was the greatest thing. And
Janet said it.
Sometimes I will show you how I fix my fail.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, no, I don't like that. Like maybe an eye that I had UV'd in place. I messed with the mold too much and it popped it out, and it ends up on the top. Well, I got to give it a hat, or I got to give something. So I did this little duck, and the eye was on the top, which looked really stupid. So I put a daffodil and made it like a little bonnet, with a real daffodil that I had pressed. And so, yeah.
But that's part of the fun as well, is showing people not every project's going to work. Not everything goes perfectly, but
you can still fix it and make it presentable. Yeah.
Yeah. A bit like Meth Bear. You're right, Valerie.
Yeah, no, I don't know about Meth Bear. I don't know if that can be fixed.
He's still here. He doesn't go anywhere. But yeah. But I am, interestingly, I'm doing a new version of this, but I'm going to do it the right way this time, and then then he can have a friend.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully that one will turn out. But no, I think it's important to show people that no matter how long you've done this for, you will make mistakes. Resin will do what it wants sometimes, and sometimes it just won't work. So you've got to think on your feet and try something different. Well,
I was just throwing ideas out while I was doing a bloom, and I thought, I wonder what it would, because I'm a little bit OCD. Everything's got to be perfectly in line and stuff. If it's not, and I thought I ought to make an OCD brain explosion bloom.
Okay.
It came out pretty. I'm like, no, you were supposed to come out and cause people with OCD to have massive conniption fits or something, but no, I'm like, what? So.
Well, I tried some blooms the other week, and I just came up with a new technique in my head, and I don't like them, but I've shown somebody else them, and they said they're gorgeous. So it's just like, you don't know what people actually like. And I think that's the thing. It's just have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, that's, some people, they ask me, take my stuff to a different farmers markets or something. The problem is I have such a wide variety of things. I only make one of a kind unless people ask me for something else. Then I'll make duplicates of it. Do I take frogs? Do I take turtles? Do I take pots? Do you want resinecrete? Do you want resin? Do you want just artwork? I don't know what to take. I take a whole bunch of stuff, and everything in this thing sells, but I'm left with this. I do $250 of sales, and I'm like, yeah, but I still got all of this left over, So,
well, I've got the problem at the minute where I've just stopped. I've stopped stocking my items in that shop because it just wasn't viable. They were charging like £72 a month rent, and then taking 25% commission on top for every piece that sold. And I just set up a website, and I'm having the same problem. What do I focus on putting on there? What do people actually want? And I've sold a couple of items already, so I'm very grateful for that. But it's like, do I do another 10 axolotls because I've sold a couple of them? Do I do another 10 frogs because I've sold a couple of them? Do I do 20 pendants? It's like, what do I make that people actually want? And I think everybody wants something different, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, when I first got into resin seriously, I was doing flowers, and I want to, in fact, my little short that led up to this presentation was me out in my garden with the flowers and stuff. And I say, I want to start going back to what got me here, what inspired me. And I mean, you just go out in my garden. I mean, even though it got really cold, I covered stuff up, but there's some beautiful flowers out there. And Summer just said, stop worrying, just put your stuff in the shop.
Well, I've set myself a new rule. So every day I'm uploading at least 5 items of resin that I've created. And if people buy it, brilliant. If they don't, they don't. And it will just stay on there,
Yeah. I tried
find Facebook the right buyers.
I tried Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I mean, people they think it's a flea market. Well, will you take $5 for that? No.
The resin cost me $9
of resin in that. I'm not gonna know.
Yeah. Well, that's why I decided the best way for me. And again, I want to do this long term. So that shop, the more I put in there, the more I build the inventory, the better it will be over a period of time. And as long as I commit every day that I'm going to put at least 5 items in, and I'll make sure I make pieces every week to put on there that's different. Eventually, hopefully, the right buyers can find them. And if not, they'll just stay on there forever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's so interesting. I think how to sell your resin is one of the hardest things.
Well, I put out pictures on Instagram, and sometimes I shoot them over to TikTok. And I get people contacting me because I tell them in my description on the videos and stuff, if you want something, contact me. We'll do a deal. I would rather not spend commissions on Etsy or eBay or any of those other ones where I have to charge more. And I've seen prices of some people that put stuff out there, and I'm like, you want that for that? What?
Yeah.
But in order for them to make pay commissions and make the money that they put into it, you got to charge that. And I'd rather not have to do that. So I end up, my wife and I are really active in our church and stuff. And so I'm walking along. Sometimes I'll take 2 or 3 little tiny things to church just because, not to, well, I guess it's advertisement, but that's not why I'm doing it. And sometimes I'll walk up, like I had a little, I'm doing this. You can't see my hand. A little cardinal, and that I had done. It was just something you can hang on your wall or make an ornament out of it or something. And this lady was just looking like she had a bad day, and at church, you're not supposed to have a bad day at church. So I went up and I said, "You okay?" And she goes, "Well," she was having nostalgia stuff, and I really miss my family and all of this type of stuff. And I said, "Do you like cardinals?" And she goes, "Oh, I love them." And I said, "Here you go." And it's just, I don't want money for it. I'm just giving it to you. Here you go. Yeah. And so I do that.
Well, again, there's been times on even on this channel where I did like the 30 days of giveaways and stuff like that, or even on Olga, I know that she's been in the chat a few times as well. I sent her a coaster, and I know that she still uses it, and it brings a smile to her face. So
yeah,
that's the thing.
Well, I sent her one. She challenged me. She wanted me to do something that looked like a chocolate chip cookie on a coaster. And so I sent it to her. She sent me this note. She goes, I've been in the hospital so much, I haven't even opened the package, but I know it's there. And I'm like, wow. So.
But again, that's sometimes the nice thing to do. And don't get me wrong, I want to sell pieces. Eventually, I want to be able to do this full time. I'm not going to get around that. That's my dream of one day doing it. But until then, it's nice to just put a smile on people's face sometimes. If I've got the resin and I've made it and somebody needs a pick me up, you know, and it might be, it's like I had an order, one of the first orders on my website was a mystery bag. So I threw a few extra pieces in rather than just the standard mystery bag. And they sent me a picture of it and said they were really happy. And that's the whole point for me. It's making people happy and smile.
Yep. Well, if you come to visit me at my house, yeah, I saw that. That was good news.
Yeah, I saw that as well. She messaged me the other day.
If you come to my house to visit the first time, you'll either get to choose one of the little baby axolotls or one of the little baby frogs. I don't care which one. Some glow in the dark, some don't. Some have rocks in them, some don't. You know, you just come choose. And one of the ministers brought his family over because his daughter he's homeschooling her. She's in sixth or seventh grade. And he wanted to see if he could pick up some of those caterpillars, the monarch caterpillars. Well, he's now a monarch parent, so it actually hatched out, and he let it go. But they came over, and so I gave them choice of frogs or axolotls, and they're like, "Oh, this is so cool! And like, come on over more. You're not getting any more of those, but
next time you're paying,
you get some coffee, you know."
I think we've actually kind of answered a couple of the questions. Where are we? In fact, I've skipped forward. Do you sell your resin work? That was a yes.
I sell anything I make except if I've made it specifically for my wife. For instance, we had our 40th anniversary last year. And we met at a church camp up in Michigan, and she was a lifeguard there. So I made the bottom part of it look like water, and it's got little wave action and stuff. And it's called Rock Lake. And so I put rocks in the shape of a heart around a heart with some flowers in it. So that's not for sale. And but any of the other stuff is out there is for sale. So
right, Ellie's asking, what's been your biggest inspiration and what has influenced your art?
I think creation itself, the natural world. Like I said earlier, I can't compete with the colors. I know Laura's on here. Laura, I know you got wonderful colors and stuff, but God still got the upper hand on us on that. So just looking at the hummingbirds, I've got a hummingbird feeder that's got a live cam on it. And when they come up, it catches them. Man, I tried to recreate that color. I can't. I've got this hibiscus plant that I pulled inside because it's a major tropical one. The blooms are bigger than my hand. I mean, it is 9-10 inches wide, beautiful pink. And I got one that I dried, but it broke a little bit. But I don't have a mold the right size to fit that gigantic thing, because the stem on it, you know, the pistil and the stamen stick up about 2.5 inches. So it's going to have to be a deep mold plus a big one. So I got to figure out the right place for it.
Well, I think with some of the big flowers as well, I mean, lilies, I would love to preserve those in resin, but I think because they're so fragile, it would be almost impossible, because you cough or breathe on a lily and the petals just drop off.
Or they'll go see-through. I've had that. I did that with it looks like a lily, but it's not. Goodness, not daffodil. Anyway, I got these flowers that look similar to a lily, and I dried it, and I thought, oh, this is great. Half the petals they're like ghosts. You can see there's a petal there.
Yeah.
But you're thinking it's an optical illusion. It's like, what? Amaryllis, that's what it is.
Right.
And that hibiscus, I'm going to have to do something with the petals to preserve them because I think those are going to go transparent as well, and I don't want that. I want it to just be amazing. Maybe a table.
Maybe do UV resin over the top of the petals if they go clear.
I have had pretty good success with spraying lacquer on certain flowers and keeping them. Like I have a rose, beautiful rose. In fact, I need to pull it out of the sand. I should have done that for you online. It's called crescendo, which is one of the things I like about it. First off, because crescendo means getting louder in music. But it's this beautiful pale white to a pink, and the aroma that it gives off is just. But I found spraying it with that lacquer, they don't freak out and do weird things. So
yeah, might be worth try, or even a clear varnish, I suppose.
That too, yeah.
Diane's said, have you ever submitted your voice to Hollywood for voiceovers, especially for Disney productions?
I have not. I don't know the right person to talk to in order to do something like that. Somebody asked me to sign up with Audible or something and read books for people. If you go to that SoundCloud thing that I put earlier, I have some short stories that I wrote for my kids when they were little. When I was putting them to sleep, I just make them up. And my wife says, you need to write those down. Well, I thought, well, instead of just writing them down, I need to add all the different voices. So of course you have the deep voice of a lion, and then you got a little voice up here, you know. And so I have different stories that I've made. They're about 5 minutes long. They're kind of cool, but all of the sounds and all the sound effects are me. So but no, I have not done that. And then somebody asked me, you ought to try out for American Idol. I'm too old. They have a 35-year limit. Well, I'm almost twice that, you know. So, or The Voice or something like that. I don't know.
You're never too old, apparently.
No, but do I really want to do that? I know what it was like when I was in college and all of the different gigs that I had to perform in and stuff. And I gave that up to be a family man, you know. I didn't want to just keep going and going.
And then where are we? So I'm just making sure I'm on the right questions. Diane wants to know what video software you use to edit.
I use Vegas Pro.
Vegas
Pro.
Okay.
It was oh man, it's changed names a couple times, and then it got owned by Sony. Now it's owned by a company called Magix, Magix. And if you get into it, the initial expense is kind of, you know, $450. That seems a little bit for the not. There's no. I don't like the software where you have to pay monthly bits here and there just to keep it active. I don't like that. I want the full thing. So I end up paying a little bit more. But then the updates, I get an update I don't necessarily go for every update. If they come out with something that, oh, I want that, I know that, then I'll pull it up. I've also used, what's the name of it? Let me look real quick. DaVinci, which is a free one.
I've heard that's really good, and you can buy the paid version.
It's powerful, but I don't have where I can overlap segment 1 with segment 2 to where it just sort of flows from one to the next. Doesn't work as well as the one that I'm using. And doing text and stuff like that. And then I have my digital audio workstation, which is also by the same company. It's called Acid.
Okay.
So I'm doing my Acid, yeah. It's Acid Pro, and there's so many tools that make it to where I can do all kinds of stuff. So
just to pre-warn people in chat as well, we're approaching the hour. So any last minute questions, now is the time to put them in chat. But no, do you know what? I suppose one of the things I want to know is what big projects have you got planned over the next year?
Well, that mesquite burl to make it into either a table or something of that sort. I also have some Texas ebony. They're not cookies. They're cut lengthwise. So I've got the
slabs.
And they are about 2.5 feet long. Man, that wood is heavy.
Yeah.
Holy cow. And it's hard, but it's been drying for 2 years. So I should be pretty close to being able to use something there and make another table of some sort.
Do you use a moisture meter just to check the how
I will.
dry?
My brother's got one, and I'll just he's a woodworker. He's got all of that stuff, and
Yeah.
I go out to him. I've got this 24-inch by 24-inch by 3/4 inch black walnut veneer plywood. It's really nice. But I made this. I was gonna say AC Doocy. That's a game we play. Backgammon board.
Right.
A version of backgammon is AC Doocy. And I want to set it down inside that wood. So I'm going to take it out to him. He's got the router and all, and just trace around it and then just dig down in. And so it's level with the resin with the wood. And then I'll do just a clear over that wood.
Well, before I can even start this coffee, I still need to completely flatten the wood. So I'm going to make a router sort of sled that I can even it out on, and that's going to be a fun project. You don't realize how many tools you need to do one of these.
Oh, I know. That's why I go to my brother. And besides, he just built a new. He's 10 years older than me, but he built this new shed, which is a good sized shed. Because his whole garage was used for woodworking, and his wife is like, "Get it out!" so now he's going to have room to use his garage for a garage. And
I actually managed to melt my sander already because it's oak. It's a really hard wood oak, and you don't realize. And if you apply pressure, you can literally melt your sander. I didn't know that. But I've melted one sander and I've had to order a new one now. So before I get back on, and it's because I'm used to using it with softwoods.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying it with oak. It just can't take it. So I've had to upgrade my sander.
Oak is like at 1800. Mesquite is 2600. Ebony is 3400 on that strength scale. It's nuts. Yeah. Now there's another type of wood I think that's even harder than the ebony. It's from Brazil. I don't remember the name of it, but you best have some
sharp
heavy-duty tools. Yeah,
but that's the thing as well. Some people don't realize that when they first get into wood and stuff like that, is the harder the wood, it's great for detail. If you want to carve, if it's a hardwood, it will really keep that detail. Softwood doesn't tend to keep it as much, but it will also dull down most of your tools quicker as well. So you've got to just weigh that up as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we're about there. I suppose one of the other questions I've got is with your channel. Obviously, you've nearly doubled subscribers in the last 12 months. What are you planning over the next 12 months? Have you got a goal set or?
I don't want to sound offensive to some people, but they might take this the wrong way. My whole purpose in life is to please God. And if I can do that through my channel, that's what I'm going to do. If I can do that with my art, then I'm going to do that. I do not look down on anybody else's. Like, I don't necessarily like all the art that I see out there. In fact, I took my stuff to an art show and it was around Halloween. That my stuff was so pure and wholesome compared to some of the stuff I saw. And no, if my numbers double, yay. If they don't, I'm making enough money with the YouTube ads to buy a couple gallons of resin a month.
Yeah,
cool. That's what I need, and I've got a couple people that I work with that send me stuff every once in a while, just out of the blue. One of my subscribers sent me something. She goes, I saw your wish list on Facebook, not Facebook, on Amazon. I'm sending it to you. I'm like, whoa, cool. It works. I didn't know anybody used those.
I still haven't done that yet. Lisa actually showed me how to set one up, and I still haven't had the time to sit there and pick a load of items that I want. But actually, you've got the Julie Kurtz dragon mold, haven't you? And Summer, actually, I think she's in chat. She sent me that, and I've just done my second dragon. Yeah, that's the one. So I've just finished.
And I also have the small one. I have the small mold. Look at the difference in size.
Look at that. Oh, wow.
It's
definitely small.
Yeah, I saw that one.
This is a new one. You haven't seen it yet.
One. Yeah, I was gonna say the other one had its back had like a whitish color on it.
Yeah, and this one I tried the same technique, but I put Laura's
candy apple
red in, and because that's a heavier pigment, it sank, but it looks really cool how it sank just over the back and over the shoulders. I loved how it turned out. So thank you so much for that as well. I love this mold. I'm going to be making lots of dragons.
They're heavy when you finish them.
And what?
They're heavy.
Well, it's 800 mil of resin, just over. It's crazy. And that's what people don't realize. If you're going to sell one of these, they're not going to be cheap because there's 800 mil of resin in.
Yeah. Well, that's like somebody asked me about that turtle, that big turtle that I had made. Well, I had made another one, and I didn't use anything other than I did like Petri, a deep pour Petri. Yeah. It looked like a coral reef growing in it. And people were coming by, will you take $50 for that? And I said, there's $50 of resin in it. No, I'm not going to take $50. You know, I mean, because I put those little glass eyes in them and stuff. And no, you know, I mean, if you want it, great. Pay me what I'm asking for. And then this lady jewed me down $20, but she bought $70 of other stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. So,
yeah. And I think that's the thing. Oh, hi, Jessica, as well. I can see you in chat. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, resin's not cheap. It's not like we can mass produce things either. And I think that's the biggest difference. You can see, and I've got nothing against Temu, by the way, guys. I think if that's the way that you get your molds and things like that, fine. But I've started seeing finished resin pieces on there. And my concern is with that is they're mass produced. That is the difference. If you're a resin artist, the time has gone into crafting that item. Normally, they're one of a kind because you can never duplicate the same effect usually in a second piece. Even if you pour them exactly the same way, they'll come out slightly different. And that is what you're buying for. It is the art form of it. And the time and dedication and love that somebody's put into that piece is why you won't get Temu prices.
Yep.
So there we go. But no, I don't think there's any other questions in chat. So I think we're about there. Unless you've got any questions, Tim.
I don't know. I just became an affiliate with Laura's Art Corner.
Okay, cool.
I'm not going to send you a lot of stuff because I know you already have a lot of colors. And I'm like, colors are cool. You know, so and she found out that I like chameleon stuff. Which I really like playing around with chameleons in the chameleon mold. No, that's fun because, you know, God didn't set a limit on chameleons. We have a lizard that grows around here called an anole. You have to make sure you pronounce that correctly because some people say, what? But it'll come out, and when they go through mating season, the male will sit there and do this, and then he shoots this thing. It's a thin blade.
Right.
And it's bright color, like either a bright orange or a bright red, and you can see how that gets the girl's attention. You know, I mean, like, hey, look at this, you know. And
maybe we should start doing it too.
Yeah. Well, I've already started, man. I got these waddle things going. You get to a certain age, and it's just
get them tattooed, and then just start breathing. Oh dear, but no, I agree. I think, and don't get me wrong, I've used a lot of Laura's products. I think they're amazing as well. The only thing is for me, they're not the easiest to get hold of with them being in the States and vice versa with all of that postage malarkey that's happening at the minute. But yeah, I agree. And her Candy Apple Blossom Red, I haven't found a red that beats it, genuinely. And I'll put my hands up to that. I've tried the Let's Resin Chrome Red. I've tried all sorts, but that Candy Apple Blossom Red, it is something special.
Yep.
So I think, and again, I haven't found one like it, and it's a deep red. So again, I recommend those products as well. Again, I'll have Creating Bloom for that in the UK.
If you can get your hand on the chrysanthemum that she has,
I've not seen that. I've not seen that one.
Do I want to go with this one? On the other hand, you know, I feel like a fiddler on the roof. If I were,
I might have to save up and get a big box, I think.
Yeah, it's really nice.
But again, I think that's the beauty of this resin space at the minute as well, is because it's getting more popular, because it's getting in social media more, there's more companies coming out ever been before, and there's more choice than there's ever been before, which for me as a resin artist, it's just so exciting. You could probably do something every day of the year for the next 5 years and use something completely different.
Yep. I haven't tried that one, the Yamagata. I'm not an affiliate with ICANN. Well, I guess I am. I can give a 10% off, you know, when you use the code that I've got. But they don't send me free stuff. or give me,
That's it. I'm not a proper affiliate.
Christmas, you get $25 worth of stuff. Oh yes, you know. But I have won something from a lady that uses Promise Epoxy and uses eye candy pigments and her stuff. So I was able to purchase stuff with the win that I got from her, some stuff from all three of those. So yeah. But no, for me, I really like colors and stuff, but my wife keeps saying, you're using too much stuff. You're using too much. Not that it's expensive, but she goes, the flowers are beautiful on their own. So that when I did that blue bonnet frog, it's just clear with a few of the flowers in there. And, you know, sometimes less is more, you know, for those types of things. So
I agree, and I think that's one of the problems. I'm like you, I struggle with that.
There's a lady, she and Petra work a lot. Sandra, what is her last name? I can't remember. Anyway, she did this thing with sunflowers that she put this clear down and then set the sunflowers in and then backed it with a very dark, it was still see-through. Yeah. But it was really, that caused a haunting look. And I thought, I'm going to do something like that. Well, my daughter-in-law fell in love with it. She loves sunflowers. So she took that. It's over there at their house. So, but it's Sandra Rettig. There you go. That's her name.
But again, it's amazing what you can do with it now. And I think I'm a bit like you. If you give me a pack of 24 colors or something like that, I'll try and put them all in one piece. It's just, I want to see what they all look like together. Yeah. But you are right. Sometimes you're better off. And it's like, if we're talking blooms in like 3D blooms, sometimes just the white petals on a colored background looks stunning. And I think this is the thing, you can overdo it, but it's also your art. So whatever you enjoy doing, I think you should keep doing and just do it for you, nobody else, you know?
Yep. Well, I like doing 3D blooms, and I finally found the right stuff for me to use in order to get it to work every time. That's using Bondcrafter. I don't know. Bondcrafter is going to be available in the Europe, maybe in.
Oh, okay. I've not heard that.
It's really nice, and it's very affordable. Bondcrafter, Let's Resin, Promise, and I've also used one called Magic, which is a Canadian company that.
Okay.
Well, they got some stuff here in the United States and some in Canada. They do stuff back and forth, but those are the companies that I have used their resin. Now I have used one called Ultra, which is it's ultra expensive, and it's really nice. But it's the hardest resin out there. It's 98. You know, where most of them are at 80 or 85. If you want something that's going to put up with heat or heavy something sitting on top of it so it won't cause a dent, go with that. Or stone coat, you know, stone coat expense is, you know, I gotta take 3 months worth of earning from YouTube to get something from them.
Well, in the UK, I'm obviously affiliated with Apex, and I love their resins, but that's because that's easy for me, and I've not had a problem with them. I've got to know each one of their resins, what I can do with it, and can push the boundaries. But I think there's so many brands out there now, which there wasn't before. Susie's asking if you've tried Loftven resin. There's one I've never heard of.
Loftven, no. I've tried T-Expert. I've tried. Yeah. There's another one that Steve McDonald uses every once in a while. That's available over here. Anyway, you know, I go with recommendations of other people that have been around. You know, I tried the stuff that Julie Cutts uses.
Is that the one with the weird letters?
I don't know. When she would do her blooms and stuff with a couple of years ago, I was like,
someone's saying J Diction, maybe.
Oh, J Diction I've used. That's the other one that Steve McDonald used. But what was the one that Julie used? Anyway, it's available. It was an Australian-based company, but not. They also sell to the States, and you don't have to wait.
Oh, there we go. Platinum 360.
Platinum. There you go. Platinum. I've used that. I don't like that one as much. It's good, but I could not get the temperatures right. You know.
Yeah.
I'd get blobs all over the place. Sometimes that's okay looking, you know, but
I think you've just got to find one that you enjoy using and get to. Once you get to know it, you're fine. And it's like me. I know with every type of the Apex resins, because they're the ones that I mainly use, what temperature's right to get my blooms. And that's only because
use tabletop resin. You don't have to wait.
And then you don't have to wait. No, I found that.
But you get a lot of bubbles if you don't warm it. If you don't warm up part A. Ooh.
But interestingly, that's the one I use, the Pure Pro, which is the new one from Apex, which is like a tabletop resin, but you can put it in the debubbler. Now, a lot of the tabletops you can't because you get all of those little micro bubbles, but this one you could, and it stayed crystal clear, and that worked really well. So again,
I used Promise tabletop and Let's Resin tabletop, and I put them through my debubbler, but it lessens the work time, like serious.
Really?
But I get all the bubbles up, but I have to stand there with my vacuum chamber and release every once in a while because it starts coming up. It's going to go right out, even though I've only got it half full.
Yeah.
There's the bubbles are just hang out there, so I just sit there and then I rush in and get it going. Promise also has this 1 hour cure. Oh, yeah, I like that, and I got it to bloom. Boy, that's not easy.
Quick, you've got to be fast hands with that. But no, it's amazing though that there's so many different ones. And again, you've got to find the one that's right for you, because just because it's right for another artist, you might not like it. And I think that's the key as well. Is just find a good quality resin that you enjoy using, that is affordable for you, and enjoy it. You know? Yeah,
that's terrible, Natalie.
Oh dear, I hope he's okay. Wow. Well, I hope he's recovering and resting, Natalie. But on that note, if you don't already, it's gone way past the hour. So if you don't already, please follow Tim at the Base Resonator. And that's what this is all about. It's all about all of us growing together. And as you can see, Tim was on a year ago. We've got a few more guests coming on as well over the next few weeks. So Lula's coming back on next week because it'll be a year since she first came on. So that'll be fun. And then I've just confirmed tonight, Michelle from Glitz and Glitter on the 10th of February. Because I can't believe it's been nearly a year since she was on. It just shows a lot happens in the resin world in 12 months.
Oh, I made a mold of a plaque that we have here at the house. And now I've got 3 orders for it. I'm like, what? You know, so I'm sitting there, mold making. It better look good because it's going to go out to different people. So
I'm still trying on the mold making front. I'm trying to find an affordable silicone because I love the Let's Resin silicone. Don't get me wrong, but it's really expensive. So I've just bought like 3 packs of it, and it cost me like £45. And I might get 2 molds out of that if I'm lucky.
Well, what size of mold are you going to make?
I go big. I should live in Texas, Tim. I go big. Remember that giant frog?
Yeah.
Remember how I had to make that mold? That was 2 liters of silicone.
Wow.
But yeah, I need to find a cheap good one. I don't think I found a cheap good one yet. I've tried a few from Temu, but they've not been great. Some of them have not cured fully properly and things like that. So, but mold making is a completely different art form, but it's something I want to do more this year.
J Diction has this kind you can paint on.
I've really seen that.
I've got, that's what I was just picking up right here. I got a little box. And if you look for sales, you know, on Amazon, they'll come out every once in a while. You're like, ooh, that's when I buy some of the expensive resin ones. I'm like, now I can afford it. You know, they're on a big time sale.
Yeah. And always look out for yourselves, but also everyone, always look for a discount code. Most resin companies will have some people that affiliate with them. Most resin suppliers or additive suppliers will have an artist or somebody on YouTube that probably works with their channel. Use the discount code, it might save you 15, 20%. And we all like to save money at the end of the day, and it supports the channel, whoever's code that you're using sometimes, because it makes that company want to keep working with the channel. So even if you don't want to save the money, support the person that you're watching and just use that little code.
Yeah, I've done a couple of things with Let's Resin with their silicone. I did some testing for them. And they said, just keep using it over and over and tell us if it loses its quality. And 25 makes and it's still just as good as the first one. I'm like, so there you go.
That's good going. Yeah. And again, some of the cheaper ones I made, I got to about 40 makes and they started to go a bit dull. But the thing I like about the Let's Resin one, the clear one, is it's great for if I want to make a mold that I can use with UV as well, because the UV light can penetrate through.
Yep.
So, but no, it's gonna.
I keep wanting to see if one of these companies is gonna come out, because I don't know if you've seen some of the molds that InterResin has made. They've got some
amazing ones.
They're clear. I don't know what type of silicone that is. It's not like this opaque white. It's clear.
Wow.
It's really nice. Perfect for doing UV work. Resin Rockers does some stuff. I don't know if they ship over to the other side of the pond or not, but Resin Rockers has series of molds that are made for UV or regular epoxy. So if they're UV, it didn't take very long at all. You got your thing made. So
yeah, but no, that's something as I say, I'm going to be playing more with, I think, this year, because I think it is a different art form to make molds. And you've almost got to.
I wish I had housing that I could sit there and craft, like that dragon mold. I mean, it's to sit there and create the housing for something like that, man. It's easier just to make a square and then
fill it up.
Yeah,
that's what I did with that giant frog, so that I had a giant frog mold. But it uses a lot of silicone if you do it that way.
Yep.
But no, I want to play around with incorporating some of my wood carving, then covering that in like UV resin so it goes shiny, and then making a mold out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not tried it yet. It might work. It might not.
Yep.
There we go. Resin Rockers do ship to the UK, apparently. Okay. I know they do a great UV light as well.
Oh, that UV light, the lamp, the big one, man. I've got it.
I don't have 200 pounds.
You can charge it and walk with it. You can charge it and walk, and it'll last for hours. So, and you can change the setting for how hot you want it or how many lamps are going at once and stuff. Yeah, and you don't want to be looking at it. You'll burn your eyeballs.
No,
it's like that Resiners lamp. That new one that came out, they send you with those little glasses. They're using because those lights that bottom set of lights will come right in your eyes.
Yeah, well, it's the same with any UV though. You shouldn't ever look directly at the lights because it will damage. It's the same with the sun, isn't it? You shouldn't look at the sun. So, but no, it's been great having you on again. We've gone well over the hour, so again, just make sure if you're not already, subscribe to Tim over at.
Get me over 3,000. Get me over 3,000. I've got 9 prizes that are amazing. One of them is a company in Canada. They make huge molds called Crafted Elements. Whoever wins that one is going to love their product. And I've got InterResin helping, Resiners, Eye Candy, Laura's Art Corner. And out of all of that, there's 9 total prizes. So
that's amazing. And that's a fair point from Laura. Don't just subscribe, watch the videos, because that's
and if you leave a comment, it really helps too.
Definitely. And just to remind people, if you don't know, I'm going to be hosting my first collaboration next Saturday, which is the Beat the January Blues collaboration. And all you need to do for that is put it as a premiere and use blue in whatever craft you want, as long as it's blues. I thought that'd be
my first one a couple weeks ago.
I missed that.
Yeah, that was fun.
How'd it go? How many did you get on it? How many were
There were
collaborating?
7 people that submitted videos, and like Laura from Laura's Art Corner made this really cool puzzle piece out of wood, and then she did resin over the top of it, but she painted it and all. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So
wow. And then I think Jules is doing one from the Resonator in February as well, which was a kind of a creepy Valentine one. So I know that's coming up as well. And yeah, I think, do you know what? If you can get involved in collaborations, it's just a great way to get more eyes on your channel as well, because what tends to happen is everybody in the collaboration shares the playlist and everybody watches through them all, and we all get eyes on new channels.
Yep.
That was it. My Bloody Valentines. That was the one. So I think that's
Mary
a creepy
Supernova. I needed more color. You'll see when it's all done.
Yeah, the Supernova. It's interesting. I've tried that a couple of times, and I've got very different effects depending on what.
It looks like stained glass, but I did it on a mold that I had never done before, and I didn't know how much it held. Should have gone and gotten the water, and figured it all out. But no, I didn't. And so if I redo that one again, I'm going to do it with adding more colors anyway. There was a big hole in the middle, and so then I just put some not decals, but stickers in there, and then put another coat clear over it. So it came out nice.
But again, with things like that, the great thing is you just keep practicing, and you get a different result each time until you get what you want.
Yep.
But no, it's been brilliant having everybody on. Been brilliant having you on again.
That's the one I want to do. The Van Gogh.
The Vincent Van Gogh.
Yep.
I might have to get involved in that March.
Mine will be a Van Went.
And interestingly, you might see some footage over the next couple of weeks because I'm going on a road trip to Wales, and I'm going to be meeting Lula in real life. So I'm excited for that. We've been talking for over a year and we've not met. So she's going to let me into the Goblin's Cave, apparently. So it's going to be interesting to meet her and Martin. So that's Saturday I'm going. So I'm sure we'll film something. And then she's on the live next week for her 1 year on. And then we've got, as I say, Michelle coming on from Glitz and Glitter. And there is going to be a collaboration announced on that one, what we've already spoken about, which I think you're going to love, Tim.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that one. But no, it's been great having you on. Make sure that if you don't already, you subscribe to both channels if you can. And if you've got a resin channel and you want to get more eyes on it and you want to come on a live, reach out. It's not that scary. It's just a chat. And we find out more about your channel.
Yep. It's fun.
Newport is the part of Wales, and I've never been there before. So I'm hoping I don't turn up in tears, though, because my ex was from part of Wales. And it's going to remind me of when I used to drive down there every Christmas. And well, I've not been together with her for 3 years. So I'm hoping I don't turn up in tears, Lula. You'll have to cheer me up. But no, it's been brilliant having you on. Thank you to everyone for tapping in again. It's been brilliant. Tim, thank you for coming on. You're more than welcome to come on again next year. And let's see another year on. And let's keep it going. Let's all keep growing together. And see you all next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.